Well, hello and welcome along to another thrilling episode of the Andrew Eborn Show. Well, those of you who are regulars to the programme will remember that last year we had Brew Pearce come on and talk about all sorts of environmental matters. Well, we're going to meet more of the Envisionation team, and we're going to kick that off with the fabulous Sev Clarke. How are you doing, Sev?
I'm doing really well. I'm at the other end of the world to you guys, but I'm really interested in talking with you and discussing what we've been doing.
Fantastic. Well, really, really exciting to have you here. Where, in fact, are you at the moment?
I'm in a little village called Mount Macedon, which is about an hour northwest of Melbourne. And my state, Victoria, is in a very happy position of having 5 days without community transmission of COVID.
Well, there you go. Well, all good news, and we're expecting lots more of that to come. But the real key about what we've been talking about is with Envisionation, is the fact that change can really be within our own hands. And I thought we should meet more of the team. Now, talk to me a bit about your background.
Right. I studied science and economics and history at university. Most of my career has been working in science-based organisations, pharmaceuticals, food, and most recently with the Australian Defence Department. I was their Director of Knowledge Management. And that went really well. I spent about 15 years there and then decided to branch out on my own to do a bit of consulting and most recently to try and find solutions to the climate fix we find ourselves in.
And how did you first get involved? What sort of sparked your concerns, if you like, about the environment?
Well, in 1983, we had the first set of major bushfires sort of the world has seen, and my home was wiped out. Grandfather built it and we've carried it on. I decided then that I wanted to build it bushfire proof, and so I took time off from work and did that. Met and married my wife, lived in a tin shed for 3.5 years, and now we've got this rather nice, rather unusual earth integrated house. And I also decided that that was my first meeting with climate change, and it stuck in my head for a long while. And eventually I heard a program on our national radio by, of all things, a Queensland cardiologist called Jack Chia, and it was nicknamed, the program was nicknamed Scum Fuel. And I thought that's pretty interesting. So I got into the agriculture side of things, and then I got into how do you process algal material to make the best effect on food and materials for people. And I got a couple of patents from that. And then I started getting into saying, okay, well, how else can we fix the world up? And from then I met Brew Pearce, and Brew really cottoned onto my idea of buoyant flakes, which we'll talk about later. And he made a brilliant presentation to the World Maritime Organization in London on buoyant flakes, or how to fertilize the ocean safely and cost effectively.
Fantastic. And that's what we're going to be doing in this series. We're going to be looking, first of all, at cutting out all the jargon, because everybody, in order to make a difference, you have to understand what the problem is. So we're going to get rid of the jargon, and we're going to be looking at some of those potential solutions. Give me some of the highlights of some of the solutions that we have.
Okay. The two most effective ones are, first of all, to treat the dark blue ocean as we do our farmland. Now, farmland needs to have certain amounts of water and fertilizer to make it grow, and needs to have carbon in the soil so we don't deplete the soil. And I figured out a way how to do that with an ultra slow release fertilizer which floats on the water. The second technology is we've been losing Arctic ice at a increasing rate, and that's very serious. That's going to make, as we lose it, it's going to make Northern Hemisphere weather much more unpredictable and dangerous. And we found a way how we can actually grow ice by pumping seawater intermittently onto sea ice and making it grow very, very thick and very, very wide, using only the power of Arctic winds.
Fantastic. So looking at all of those, Sev, and full details, if you can pop along now to envisionation.org, we're going to be foreseeing and forming the future. We'll have a look at videos on each of those. But for now, Sev Clarke, thank you very much for joining me.
Good to be with you. Good night.